Well, in the 3 months that led up to the march in 1963 on Washington, the nation's attention was focused on Birmingham, which at the time was known as America's most segregated city, with the civil rights movement at a crossroads. Dr. King and others had enlisted Birmingham's African-American children in the March for Freedom.
Ain't gonna let nobody load it.
I got up with my mind on freedom.
16-year-old Janice Kelsey did not set out to be a foot soldier in the fight for freedom. She'd grown up in segregated Birmingham and didn't question the system.
I thought we were okay.
A friend told her about the meetings at 16th Street Baptist Church.
There were big crowds, well-dressed preachers who could fire up an audience, and she also said that a lot of cute boys come to these meetings, and I thought, yeah, I want to go to one.
At that time, it was the place to be. If you weren't there, you were wondering where everybody else was.
15-year-old James Stewart was at those meetings too. That's where he and Janice met a young minister who made them think.
James Bevel was a fiery young guy and wore the overalls, and sometimes he'd have different buttons on. He wore a little beanie cap on his head.
One of the questions that he asked was how many electric typewriters did we have at our school. I said we have one, but I get to type on it because I'm a good typist. He said, did you know at Phillips High School they have 3 rooms of electric typewriters? They don't practice on those things you have at your school. I thought, whoa. I'd never been in a white school, so I didn't know. He said, well, your parents can't do anything about it because if they get arrested, there's nobody to take care of you. But you really don't have anything to lose.
On May 2nd, 1963, James and Janice joined the Children's Crusade. Thousands of Birmingham's black kids skipped school and flooded the streets in protest every day for a week.
But they told us that the likelihood of us being arrested was very high.
And you knew you were going to be arrested?
I knew it. I knew it. I woke up with that on my mind.
Hundreds were arrested and hauled away in paddy wagons and school buses.
The police officer who stopped us before we got to City Hall was wearing a gun and he was carrying a stick. He said, if you get out of this line, nothing's going to happen. Stay in this line, you're going to jail. Going to jail didn't bother me. Looking at him did. Somebody started singing, "We Are Not Afraid." And that gave me the courage to remain in the line, to keep singing, and to go on to jail.
Many ended up in makeshift jails because police had more handcuffs than space. As waves of children joined the march, police brought out high-powered hoses and vicious dogs.
We watch for white people only.
Their chapter in history is now on display at Birmingham's Civil Rights Institute. It brings visitors into the struggle. An eerie, ghostly hall called the Confrontation Gallery, where visitors are eyewitness to hate, standing face to face with a real Klan robe and a cross donated by the FBI. These are the bars from the actual cell where Dr. King penned that famous letter from Birmingham jail back in 1963. It has become one of the most popular exhibits here at the Institute. As you can see, folks drop off donations. Some bow and pray. Others, they kneel and weep. You left Birmingham. Why?
Immediately. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to get out of Birmingham.
When James Stewart left Alabama for college up north, he never looked back. Janice stayed in Birmingham. Both are now retired and proud to retell the story of what they did that summer.
The March for Birmingham was to initiate a freedom that we had because we couldn't do anything.
I felt that I had been mistreated, and I felt badly that I didn't realize how much I had been mistreated. So I was very determined to do something about my situation immediately. And I had no idea that it would have all of the ripple effect that it did have.